Okay, so let's look at this overview of photosynthesis. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take carbon dioxide that is pulled from the atmosphere, mix it with water that enters the plant through the soil, it's moved into the roots, up the stem, and into the leaves. With the energy input of sunlight, we're going to be able to rearrange those atoms to produce sugar. And then, hey, check it out, we've also got oxygen. Okay. Photosynthesis happens in the leaves of plants. Now, when we look at this leaf, it looks pretty flat to us. There's the top side and the bottom side. But what's happening there in the middle? All right, so let's look at this plant anatomy a little bit closer. When we look at this leaf, we can kind of zoom in a little bit, and we can see the internal structure of the leaf. We can see that leaves have an upper epidermis layer and a lower epidermis layer. Between those two layers of epidermal cells, we're going to see this thing called the mesophyll. Meso means middle, phyll means leaf, so this is literally the middle of the leaf. And these mesophyll cells are where photosynthesis is going to occur. We also will notice in these dermal layers, we have these little pores. These pores are called stomata, and it's these stomata that will regulate gas exchange. So this pore right here, this is the stomata. It's flanked by these two guard cells. Here's one, here's two. They kind of look like Cheetos to me. And so we're going to watch this stomata. Right now it's in the open, and we're going to watch it close. We're going to have carbon dioxide entering the stomata. We're also going to see water vapor leaving those stomata. So when there's not enough water, we're going to close down those stomata to prevent water loss. But what that means is no carbon dioxide can come in, and that is going to shut down photosynthesis. So plants have to make decisions about whether to have their stomata open or closed depending on those environmental conditions. So if we look at one of these mesophyll cells and we look at it a little bit closer, we're going to see all those subcellular structures, the nucleus, the ribosomes, the mitochondria, the vacuole, all those things that we talked about back in chapter 3. But the one that we're going to focus on, that's important to us for this chapter, is our friends, the chloroplasts. Chloroplasts have 4 phospholipid membranes. We have 2 phospholipid bilayers, and then the 2 internal form these stacks that we call thylakoids. Okay, and these thylakoids are going to be where our electron transport chain and our ATP synthase is going to be embedded in those membranes. Okay, the gooey stuff between the thylakoid stacks is called the stroma. Now, stroma and stomata look very similar, so make sure that you're paying attention to the spelling of those words and the differences in what they mean and what each of those structures, what they do, what are the functions of each of those things.